Okay, so in today's video we're going to focus on parts 1, 2, 3 and 4 of the C2 level Cambridge Certificate of Proficiency in English exam. We're going to focus essentially on the use of English parts of that section, 1, 2, 3 and 4, right? And we're going to focus on timing as well, because I think you shouldn't really take more than half an hour to complete those first 4 parts. Basically, you've got an hour and a half to complete 7 parts, and parts 5, 6 and 7 are the reading sections, so that's going to take a bit longer. I think you should have an hour really for those final 3 parts, so no longer than half an hour to finish part 1, 2, 3 and 4. Obviously I'm going to take a little bit longer because I'm going to be explaining how I get the answers and things like that. I'm going to be thinking out loud, but what else? Oh, right, yeah. Take a look at this comment. The video is useful, but slurping during it is hardly tolerable. Well, Plamena, I can honestly say that in today's video there will be no slurping. Is that better? Just remember one thing, Plamena. On We Are English, on this YouTube channel, I am a god. Okay, but seriously then, let's get into the video. Okay, so this is how this is going to work. Here on the left of the screen we can see the exercise for part 1, and then we can see the answers to the right of the screen. We have to select the correct option, A, B, C or D, as you know, for this first part, and then I'm going to check the answers, right? So, as I say, it should take about 5 minutes or so, this first part. I might take a little bit longer, obviously, because I'm reading it out loud, I'm thinking out loud and that kind of stuff. Anyway, nothing is impossible. Law firm Matthews and Reynolds is a, and this is the example, is a shining example of a business using art to revamp its public image. The firm hired an advertising agency called Eye Opener to carry out a rebranding like campaign or something like that, and gave the agency, I think the answer there is free rein to take the company by the scruff of the neck and effect a major makeover. So let's have a look at the options in 1 to the right of the screen. A rebranding routine, exercise, transaction or function. So they hired the advertising agency called Eye Opener to carry out a rebranding. I wouldn't say transaction, or to carry out a function, to carry out a rebranding function. I think you'd have to carry out an exercise, carry out a routine. It's not a routine, is it? Carry out a rebranding routine. The answer in 2 is definitely D. I'm going to note these down. So 1, I think I would say a rebranding exercise, to carry out a rebranding. Routine or exercise. I think it can't be transaction or function. To carry out you carry out a routine as well, I think. Carry out a rebranding. Not sure about that one. That's embarrassing. The first one, number 2 is definitely D. Free rein. I'm gonna come back to number 1 because I need to think about it. The firm wanted smart, contemporary imagery which would symbolize and innovate forward-thinking business. The firm now has a new logo, and all its advertising material features clever, modern images which are on the eye. Okay. So in 3, in the end, after all, as a result, in total. In the end, don't think that sounds right there. After all. So both in the end and after all is like what actually happened, no? I think we're saying as they we're saying as a result. No, as a result of hiring this company. Yeah, in total is definitely wrong. I think 3 has to be C. And 4, which are clever modern images which look nice, no, which are easy on the eye. 4 is definitely A. Yeah, the expression easy on the eye, which look nice, which are compelling, attractive, no? Director Alan Ross comments, the image is eye-opener. Say a lot about our approach. The image is eye-opener stood up for. That's like they defended the images, came up with a right that occurred to them, that they produced essentially, that occurred to them, that they generated. Yeah, I think it's B. Got through to, is to communicate with. Fell back on is like plan B. Yeah, it's definitely 5 is definitely B. No questions about that one. And a lot about the approach, size and experience, and we are delighted. Says a lot about our approach, size and experience, and we are delighted with the advertising campaign they subsequently, using a stylish, sophisticated approach, which with a touch of humour here and there, which they subsequently portrayed, devised, imagined, drafted. Now, we are delighted with the advertising campaign they subsequently portrayed. Is like to depict through description or something like that. I don't think it's portrayed. Imagined, no. Drafted, no. I think it has to be devised. I think it has to be devised in 6. I'm going to say 6B. It was that they came up with and produced. No, they devised. Yeah, using a stylish and sophisticated approach with a touch of humour here and there. Yeah. Public response to the rebranding has been excellent, and what appeared to be a old law firm has been given a new lease of. Yeah, that number 8 is easy. I think number 7 is a problem. Let's see. What appeared to be a dusty, tedious, murky, monotonous. All of those can be used in a figurative sense. I think here the best expression would be a dusty old law firm. No, in number 7. So number 7, we're going to say A. Sorry. Yeah, a dusty old law firm has been given a new lease of life. D. Yeah, 8D. You've given a new lease of life, right? You breathe new energy into it, new life into something. Still, number 1, what am I going to go with? Routine or exercise? The firm hired an advertising agency called Eye Opener to carry out a rebranding routine. A rebranding exercise. I'm going to say a rebranding routine. I think it's A. So let's see what I've got out of 8, and that's taken me 7 minutes. I think I would have done it a bit more quickly had I not been sort of thinking out loud. But anyway, let's check the answers. Let's go down here. Test 4, no test. Hopefully you don't see any of the answers to the other parts. So here we go. Test 3, reading and use of English. You should be able to see that at the bottom of the screen there. 1 is B. Damn it. So we got the first one wrong. It was a rebranding exercise, yeah. Okay. 2D, good. 3C, good. 4A, 5B, 6B, 7A, 8D. Yeah, so the first one was a rebranding exercise. Yeah, of course it's an exercise, not a routine. Yeah. A rebranding routine would be something that is already routine, of course. For God's sake, how did I get that wrong? It just kind of sounded nicer, didn't it? A rebranding routine than rebranding exercise. Of course it's an exercise. Stupid, I'm being stupid, and I'm panicking because of the time. This is not how you do this exam. 7 out of 8 is fine. I'm still proficient. Okay, let's go to Exercise 2. I'm not going to get any more wrong. That one doesn't count. God damn it. Okay, part 2, neologisms. Neologisms, yeah. Creating new words. I feel like I've done this before. I hope I haven't done this in a video before. I think I've done this in class before. It doesn't matter, I can't remember it, so... but it rings a bell. I've been doing this for over a decade now. I'm bound to do the same exercises more than once. So, let's see, yeah, again. Right, we're 9 minutes into this, so I need to step up the pace a bit. Neologisms, creating new words. Okay, to survive, language must evolve, yet it is resistant to certain forms of change. Most new words sparkle briefly at all and then fade away. Right, so most new words sparkle briefly and then fade away. So they sparkle briefly, even if they do that. If at all. I think in number 9, no, I'm going to say if. If at all, they sparkle briefly. And sometimes not even that. So they sparkle briefly, if at all. And then they fade away. However, new words are necessary because as the world changes, must our vocabulary. In the same way, our vocabulary must change. So must our vocabulary. Number 10 would be so. So must our vocabulary in the same way. However, new words are necessary. So must our vocabulary. In a society... In a society, science seems to occupy the intellectual high ground. So you could say in a society in which, but obviously it's only one word. In a society, it has to be where, no? In 11. In a society where science seems to occupy the intellectual high ground, it is inevitable that vocabularies are continually being augmented in technical terms, no? Yeah, I think that one's fairly easy. In that way. Vocabularies are being continually augmented, at least in technical terms, right? In technical terms? Is it in technical terms? In a society where science seems to occupy the intellectual high grounds, it is inevitable that vocabularies are continually being augmented in technical terms. Ooh, maybe it's with technical terms. And we're not saying like in terms of we're not saying speaking technically, we're saying maybe it is augmented with technical terms. I don't know about that one. I'm doubting that one. Novel items of vocabulary distress people for 2 reasons. They attest to phenomena we don't like, expect not to like. Phenomena we don't like or expect not to like. So number 13, yeah, I think has to be or expect not to like. And their tone offends our sensibilities. There is new about this aversion to neologism. There is nothing new. There is nothing new. I think number 12 is going to be with, isn't it? Augmented with technical terms. I'm going to say with in 12. I'm writing this down so that I can check if I've got them right after I think it's going to be with. There is nothing new about this aversion to neologism. As far as the 1750s, a distinguished English lexicographer criticised the unnecessary words creeping into our language. As far back, yeah, that one's fairly easy. As far back as the 1750s. So what does make a word stick? First of all, it has to be widely adopted. It also has to denote something of lasting significance, for it will only last as long as the phenomenon in question, right? So I've got if, so, where, with, or nothing back in. Screw it, let's have a look. Let's just look at the answers and rip the band-aid off, as the Americans say. Can you see those? Can't, can you? God, how can I show them? Right, I can show them by going sideways, like the crab. So, if, so, where? If, so, where? With or by? Yeah, of course, yeah. Saying that it's being augmented with technical terms. There are more and more technical terms. They're not saying technically speaking it is being augmented, because that wouldn't make sense here. So yeah, with or by, or nothing back, or nothing back, or nothing back, or nothing back, and in. No, let's just quickly check that. In, yeah, in 16, good. Okay. Hopefully you didn't see any of the answers to part 3. We got all of those right. I'm on a roll here. I've got 15 out of 16, and so I should. I'm an English teacher who specialises in C2 with more than 10 years of experience. And I think I've done this before. So, don't feel bad if you're getting any of these wrong. I'll feel bad if you're beating me. There you go. Right, so yeah, let's go with part 3. We have to change the words, and I'm already 15 minutes in, but obviously, commenting and looking at the answers and things. But I think, yeah, you're getting an idea of how quickly we should be doing this. Part 3, looking ahead to 2050. There are no guarantees as to what life will be like midway through the 21st century. You got that right. But there are scientific initiatives which offer an interesting glimpse into the future. Many people will work from home. Really? Wow, how did they know that? It's almost like this was planned. Many people will work from home. Electric cars will be the typical form of transport. Yeah. And goods and services paid for by mobile phone. Wow. Can you imagine? The most advanced smart homes will be environs. What the hell is will be environmentally friendly, right? Environmentally. Yeah, I'm not even going to write it down. You'll see the answers on the screen. Environmentally friendly. Equipped with their own cycle units, which will be able to make drink wastewater. Yeah, that's it. Okay, equipped with their own recycling units. Well, that'll be fun. Recycling units, which will be able to make drinking wastewater completely safe and palatable. Nice. Yeah, recycling, drinking, environmentally. Okay, good. Let's continue then. Advances in medical science will also have far-reaching consequences, in plural, consequences. Yep. People born today can have a life expectancy of 100 years. Yeah. 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 Yeah, absolutely. We must live to 120. We must beat the Galapagos tortoises, or life just isn't worth living. The development of so-called smart medicine research suggests that people will carry out their own digital health checks, enabling online analysts to reach an immediate diagnosis of any condition requiring treatment. I always find this part really easy, to be honest. Very rarely do I get one wrong here. Flexing there. I very rarely make mistakes in my own language. Now, this one's, I do think it's easy, really. But again, I think it's probably easier for a native speaker, because if they just give you the hint, it's like, yeah, that word sounds right. I know what word to put there. I don't know what I'm saying. Scientists predict with reasonable certainty that some of these technological advances will be in place for many people worldwide, whereas the nature of other changes remains speculative. Right. With reasonable certainty, yeah, definitely. Whereas the nature remains speculatory. Speculative, no? Yeah, I think so. Let's check the answers. Yeah. Yeah. I can edit this, can't I? I hate having to edit. God, I'm lazy. Environmentally recycling undrinkable. Oh, for God's sake, no! I rarely get one wrong in this part. Why is it undrinkable in 19? Let's see. We'll be able to make drinkable wastewater completely safe. Ah, okay, right, yeah, okay. God, see, you know what? You must check it. Take longer than 5 minutes on this part. Yeah, okay. Yeah, of course, it will convert undrinkable water into drinkable water. It will make undrinkable wastewater completely safe and palatable. Yeah, it's not drinkable if it's not safe and palatable, is it? Yeah, obviously. So it's undrinkable. Diagnosis, certainty, speculative. Yeah, okay. So I got one wrong again. Damn it. Of course it's undrinkable in number 19. See, a lot of this is just concentration. If you're concentrating, clearly 19 has to be undrinkable, doesn't it? Because we're talking about making undrinkable water into water that is completely safe and palatable to drink. So, logically, the water is undrinkable until you make it drinkable. Very stupid. Anyway, so 2 wrong out of 24 so far, and I've got no excuses. I'm just an idiot. Okay, let's go. Part 4. And as I said, about half an hour maximum to do this part. I think if you're not speaking out loud, obviously I would have been quicker, and I'd have a little bit longer to do this last part. But also, yeah, maybe you've got a little bit more time to concentrate. You're not focusing on making a brilliant YouTube video. You're just focusing on the task. But yeah. Okay, anyway, let's have a look. Let's stop crying about getting all of these wrong and let's take a look. Okay, so don't let Sarah's carefree attitude deceive you. She's an extremely conscientious worker. So in this one, 3 to 8 words maximum. I'm going to have to write this down, right? Because otherwise... don't let Sarah's carefree attitude. She's an extremely conscientious worker. Don't let Sarah's carefree attitude deceive you. Well, deceive, normally the expression is to be taken in. So don't let... Okay, right. I think I got this. Okay, so don't let yourself be taken in. Don't let yourself be taken in by Sarah's carefree attitude. She's an extremely conscientious worker. So do I get 2 points here? I think I do. Oh, can't check it yet. 25 and 26 are on the same line. Okay, right. We'll do 26 then, and then we'll look at the answers to 25 and 26. I'll write them. I'll do all of them, and then we'll check the answers at the end. Right? So yeah, number 25. Don't let yourself be taken in by Sarah's carefree attitude. Yeah, I think that's right. Fred didn't tell Sophie his news until she had finished her homework. Fred for telling her the news. I think this one's fairly easy. Fred waited for Sophie to finish her homework before telling her his news. No, Fred waited for Sophie to finish her homework before. Hang on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oof, yeah, right on the maximum there. Because it's 3 to 8 words, but that's 8 words. Fred waited for Sophie to finish her homework before telling her his news. Waited for Sophie to finish her homework before. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, no doubt about that one. I think I've got 2 points there. Okay, number 27. Although I am angry about what happened, in no circumstances would I want anyone to intervene on my behalf. Okay. Although I'm angry about what happened, the last anyone to intervene on my behalf, the last thing I would want, right? So 27, last thing I would want. Last thing I would want would be for anyone to intervene on my behalf. Yeah, I think we got that right. Last thing I would want would be for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Right on the maximum again, but I think we got that right, yeah. We'll check them at the end, of course. So 28. There is a rumor that the company lost over $20 million during the price war. The company is rumored sustained over $20 million during the price war. The company is rumored... Okay, I think I got this one. It is rumored to have sustained losses of over $20 million during the price war. The company is rumored to have sustained losses of over $20 million during the price war. Yeah, don't think there's any doubt about that one. Yeah, I think we got that. 29. I ought to have had the roof repaired in the summer rather than leaving it until the autumn. Better. It's better had the roof repaired in the summer rather than leaving it until the... Well, I think there's a number of options here. But is it... it would have been better if I had had the roof repaired. It would have been better if I had had. No, I think it would have been better if I had the so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It would have been better if I had the roof repaired in the summer rather than leaving it until the autumn. I think that's right. So it sounds good to me. Alex made regular calls to his parents while travelling abroad. Alex kept his parents by phone while travelling abroad. Kept in touch regularly. Kept in touch regularly. Kept in touch regularly. Let's check the answers. Okay, so hopefully you can see those there. Right, so let's go back. So 25, I said, yourself be taken in by. Yep, 2 points. Okay, 26, I said in 26, waited for Sophie to finish her homework before. Waited for Sophie to finish her homework before, 2 points. 27, I said, last thing I would want would be for. Answer is, last thing I would want is for. Yeah. Okay. 28, I said in 28, to have sustained losses of. 28, to have sustained losses of. Yes. And 29, I said, would have been better if I had. 29 is would have been better if I had, or yeah. Good. And 30, I said, kept in touch regularly. Kept in touch or contact regularly. Oh God, I didn't say with, but I would have said with. I just didn't see that there was no with. Yeah, with his parents. Yeah, obviously with. That doesn't count. That's still 2 points. If I'd have been concentrated and not trying to entertain you people, I would have got 100% there. So, it's your fault that I didn't. Anyway, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.